All right. Let's look at some VODs from recent competitive games that this team played. Okay. We're on Suravasa. We're spectating blue team. Looks like blue team's running a hazard rush sort of comp with a Soj Tracer and a Curie Juno. Usually it'd be Curie Lucio, but looks like they're doing the Juno for speeds.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Don't know what the other team's running.
Initial flashpoint marked.
Going inside is a good idea. All the way around is interesting.
10 seconds.
Not that close. That should be our go button. Okay, what I'm seeing with our Has Tracer though is definitely what I want to see. I think our Kiri. Let's look and see how we got split here. But what I was looking at with the Has Tracer, like that's exactly our Tracer's gonna want to take some sort of off angle, like flank sort of thing, and then our Has is gonna want to go in. That's exactly what we'd be looking for. So it looks like, yeah, so we have a classic, issue here where we either have to hit their backline first or our backline's gonna die first, because it looks like they're running kind of this dive with the Doomfist Genji with a kind of stronger core with that Mei. I think the Mei's gonna find she's gonna get caught out a lot or something. I'm not quite sure, but their main source of heals is dead, so immediately with our Life Weaver being dead, that needs to be our go button. I know it's beginning of the map, so we're not going to know exactly what they have. We can't really press tab because it'll all be, question marks, but we really need to kind of have our DPS or somebody, our tank, naming out what they have in their comp and identifying immediately as the fight's starting at the very initial drop that who our main target's gonna kind of be here. For us, if we focus that Life Weaver, they lose their main source of heals. This is not like our comp where one person with the Juno Curie is able to kind of keep up the team while the other person gets back. So we have a ring out, and so I'm gonna focus on what's happening over here really quick and show you this is what I'm expecting from a dive or an initiation, because I think it looks really good. So you have the Tracer harassing, Hazard follows through. You're gonna be successful in killing however many targets that you have, but then Tracer, you left your Hazard. I don't know if there was just lack of heals or something, but then you got punished by the Genji, who is coming back for heals after killing our backline, and so that, not so much. I think Hazard, you play this well by, blocking them in. They were not expecting that. That was good. Okay. We ended up winning the point, winning the fight in total. It was a pretty long fight. But I do want to talk about what happened back here and what we probably could have done to prevent that. Okay, we're going to go back to where this Life Weaver died, and I want to play it slow.
Crash into that!
Okay, so Life Weaver was so out of position. Our Tracer gets the pick on him. She's going to have to probably do a little bit of chilling because the enemy might know she's around. She's going to harass the Zen. Not a bad idea. But this needs to be calmed immediately. Right now is our go button. This Tracer has killed along with our hazard, our tracer hazard, we're able to get the pick on this Lifeweaver. Now the tracer has the Zenyatta's attention, so Zenyatta is not able to put Discord on our tank. This is like such a big go button, so I'm not quite sure why we are waiting, but right now ring needs to be put down, and so I'm not sure if we have ring. We do. Wow. Okay, we do have ring, and so we need to be in a position where we can, you know, capitalize on this, because we're here. He's dead. We need to recognize, and remember, this doesn't just have to be the tank, and please don't shoot him while he's blocking, but this doesn't just have to be the tank saying this. If you recognize that as a support player, you know more than anybody how detrimental that is to a team. So, especially as main support, which you would be in this case, the main support role, you need to be initiating, hey, we go, 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 and it doesn't even matter if your team's not ready in that exact moment, because people will get used to it. But at least then maybe your Kiri can have some help with that. Maybe your Soj can play in that. Like, whatever it takes to just be fast and maybe do some extra damage or do some things that you might not normally be able to do. But right now your Tracer needs to be calming that this is the fight here. This is what we want. Because we just killed the Lifeweaver. This is what we're after. We need to be ringing somewhere in here to help with what's going on over here. Yeah, I think we're way too stagnant with what's going on. This is all this time where you're allowing their dive, which is their Doomfist Genji, to get so much value.
Light speed.
Yeah, and this is already late. This is late because their Genji's up here. And your Has has now been knocked back, and you know, we could have put it down. We could have thrown it. We don't have to come up here to throw it, because now you've used fly and you've used ring, and so now you're in danger. So if you don't find somewhere safe now, you're gonna die. So you could have stood back here and thrown ring here, kept your fly. I'm hoping that you're gonna use fly to get up here then to possibly help with the Genji. I'm not sure what gonna do. So we're kind of going forward. Now we're using every ability we have.
Projectiles initiated.
You're gonna help with killing the Zen. But this whole time, yeah, your Kiri's been in the dive. And we didn't talk about going. And so, yeah. And I was playing the Kiri, and I was commenting that I was slow and needed help. That's okay though. But yeah, this right here I don't like. And I'll explain why I don't like it. This is why your Tracer died. I think this is kind of our main issue here with initiating that. When we threw down ring, that's everybody's, even though it was late, that is everybody's to go button. Like we're going to go now, and you guys didn't go. And I know you were dealing with that Genji, but our Soj needed to either figure out if they were going to help with the Genji or go. I don't know what our Soj is doing right now. Let's watch that. Let's see what's going on in this realm, because I'd like to know. Just so you know, if you ever hear your support use a Suzu on themselves, that's probably indication you might want to help out with that. So you know the Genji's there. You gonna shoot the Genji?
This is our objective now.
So you saw the ring, so you said, well, no, I gotta go. Okay. So now the Genji's the problem. After he kills support. Are you gonna shoot the Genji? Maybe. Possibly.
I have arrived on point.
So, just because you didn't think the Genji is the problem, you killed 2 of your supports, or a support and a DPS. Yeah, that you should be in there with your tank, by the way. Has and so should be together all the time, doing stuff like that. You have the slide. Now we're gonna go in. No, maybe not. I'd like to see us hold a little bit of pressure. Yeah, it's unfortunate that we can't get up there. I haven't seen many so be careful holding in the middle, out in the open. That's a good example of that.
Cybernetic innovation at its finest.
That's a good pick. Look at how the team takes this fight.
Breaking them down.
Good. I like walking them back to spawn. Good practice. Yeah. And this is kind of our barrier here. So if you're up above that, you're kind of in danger. So that's our barrier, and that's our indication we need to go back. Just be careful not going too far. Holding wherever you can. That's a good pick. Line gave up, I guess. We're noticing that going in, looks like. Okay.
Next, flashpoint garden.
Okay, so fight has ended. Alright, fight has ended. And I know that we already had a fight, but fight has ended, and usually, you know, when every 2 fights, you're going to need to start talking about ults. I mean, you should do this at the end of every fight, but just as a general rule of thumb, people are going to have their ult usually every 2 fights. And so, with that being said, at the end of first fight, you might have some people like a Reinhardt or a Tracer where you're like, they're probably going to have ult. For example, your Tracer did. And by second fight, I think your first fight was a little long, and I think that's why some of you have been holding ult for a little bit. But by the end of second fight, which that just was, you're going to need to really be starting to talk about what are they going to come back with. And so your answer is going to be Genji. 100% Genji with the damage and the kills he got for sure. And then Mei. And Reinhardt would have already had Shatter had he been Reinhardt the whole time. But then you would have calmed, hey, the tank swapped to Rein. He's not going to have ult. So that's something you would have made sure that you said. And I think they swapped their entire support backline as well. And so that also would be something you talked about, like, hey, you know, they don't have support ults either. So they're just coming back with 2 ults. And so looking at what you have a very stacked inventory of ults. And so you should be able to use something to deter those DPS ults. And you need to be calming that so that your tank and your other people on your team know exactly how they can play in these moments. Right, what better way to use Hazard Ult on the Genji who's ulting, right? Because Genji can dash in and then you can use Hazard Ult and then Genji can't do anything about it. Or speed ring out of Mei ult if you hear Mei ult go off. Because you have a grace period where you can hear her ult go off and get out. You're still in all bottlenecks somewhere. Alright, so fight has started. Tanks initiated our fight up here.
Tear it down!
Do an aggressive ult, didn't get anybody. And then Blade comes out. Yep, both of those ults come out immediately.
For the parch.
It's alright. It wasn't a good kill. It should have been saved. But alright, let's see how we're gonna initiate here. We're gonna have to be thinking about what ults they have, so... Yeah, Brian's gonna give his ult every one. We're gonna have hers, that's something we should have talked about. They used them immediately, which means we can retaliate with an ult. We're waiting on our has.
Not so fast.
Let's try that again.
Kind of pushing up without our has at this point. It's not entirely undoable.
Blocking satellite vector.
Good ult. Just make sure we're not standing next to Ryan. Yeah, I think that was a good answer ult to retaliate with that. It's a shame there was so much time wasted on the beginning of that point, but I think that was a good ult for retaliation, because now you're looking at a good 3-stack ults here on this next fight. Alright, fight's over. We should be talking about what ults they have and what they're going to come back with. We would know after what they've used. They're probably going to have Juno for sure, and then May. Yeah. Tracer's doing such a great job harassing him. It's a shame that we're not there. He's gonna lose his life for that. That has to be a communication thing.
Blocking satellite vector.
And again, we would not be caught off guard by this if we would be calming that that's what they have. There is a good pick. I don't think there's... So, playing field is even.
Yeah, he's
gonna die. And they're probably gonna win that point. Thought we were gonna touch, and we're gonna get staggered out.
Next flashpoint. Ice.
We're gonna be talking at this point. What ults are they gonna have? Definitely Shatter again. Shatter is probably gonna happen about every fight, as long as he's not getting super punished and dying all the time.
Your end is within my reach.
Moira again. There's
Flashpoint
another one that
unlocks
charges
in
with
10
that.
seconds. Flashpoint unlocked.
We used ring. We should be able to be talking about what we're gonna do. Use ring. We're gonna fight now.
Tear it down!
This ends now. Kill the Mahal.
They're of course gonna use all their ult for retaliation. Yeah. It's a shame we could get in and find somebody. Let's look at how that happened. So it just seemed like it took us a long time to go in, but whatever we do, we just need to decide to do it together. So if we're gonna go take high ground, maybe use Kitsune off high ground. That's a pretty good Kitsune spot, is, you know, straight off high ground, or like a kind of right here or something like that. Or if we want to just push main and take it, you know, however. But like Ryan can't necessarily shatter us if we all rush high ground and Kitsune off, you know. And so if you know Ryan has shatter and you know these things are gonna happen, then you can do that. And then you could put your Tracer on the Moira, harass her until she uses Fade, and then go for her. I mean, there's a lot of different things we could do, but we need to make that decision, and all do it. So right now we're allowing them to kind of get high ground. Wouldn't be a bad thing to still push it. Kind of getting pushed back. We're allowing ourselves to get bottlenecked here. Then we speed ring. We decide, okay, we're gonna go this way.
Tear it down!
But the Ryan's there, and so we don't want to do
This
it.
ends now. Kill the Mahal.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. I think there was so much this climactic build up to what we were doing. They had the chance to kind of move all around and figure out what they want to do. But they used all their ults here. We still had ult. We used 1 or 2, and then we still have ults. I think we could be using some of our ults more actually. But now we gotta come back on this and see what we do. They hear you. They're gonna be trying to push up. Wherever we do, we gotta go fast. They backed up. You can take height. We just have to do it immediately. We're gonna do it. Yeah. And then holding in the open too long. It's gonna get you killed.
狐の鍵爪を解き放て。洞中不许走。
Yeah, all their ults are just reacting really to what you guys do. So it would be kind of interesting if you were able to use ults more proactively and just try to surprise them. Because everything that you guys have been doing so far is not surprising at all to them. And so I think you need to... I think I would like to see you try. I mean, and it's not always the answer to play faster. Sometimes it's the answer to play slower. But in this case, they're the ones playing reactively. You know, they're the ones just really playing defensively and just looking at what you're doing and just doing something right after and trying to kind of one-up you, really. And it's been working. So, if you're kind of seeing that, we're like, well, we try to use an ult, but, like, they just do something else and it just beats us out, you know? I definitely think that there's some skill things going on, like some micro things that a lot of you guys can work on. Most of it's just coordinating and communicating when you're supposed to go in, when you're not going to go in, when it's a winnable fight or not, who's the primary target in the situation. But yeah, like you definitely could try to play a little faster just to see if you're starting to catch them off guard, because you guys have had way more ult economy than they have had. And there's not been very many times where they have all of their ults. Like, for example, right now, they don't have all their ults. And there's been several situations where they might only have one ult where you guys have 4. And so, like, why not use an ult and then use another ult after they use their ult and, like, just keep kind of stacking that. But it seems like a lot of how we're dying is without dying to ults. And I don't necessarily think that is a good thing to have happen. If we're going to be dying, we need to make sure that we go out with a bang, if that makes sense, instead of just dying because of careless mistakes. Caught somebody off guard. This is really good. Somebody was not where they were supposed to be. Okay, where's our rings? Where's our rings? Where's our ring?
Blocking satellite vector! Blocking satellite vector!
Okay, you got both your ults out. That's okay. At least you used an ult.
For the punch.
You cannot escape me.
That was lost. We should be ult tracking. See what they have. See what we want to use. Out. Now they're starting to kind of get the jump on us because we're not being proactive with things or making very easy mistakes that they're able to punish us for. So now they're kind of starting to be a little more assertive with what they do. That's that VOD. Let's look at let's look at Circuit Royale.
Ready for battle.
The shadows coalesce.
Alright, we are the red team. Okay, we're gonna see, we're gonna kind of run like a tempo brawl poke kind of thing with a Sigma.
5, 4,
It's gonna be interesting against their Sigma.
2, 1.
Call.
Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
I like the aggression so far. The Sigma is low.
Barrier has been overwhelmed. The barrier has fallen.
I'd like to see. Oh, we do have a tracer. That's gonna be hard on this map. I was gonna say I would like to see maybe a Reaper here or a May here or somebody that's up here with our tank, because right now nobody's up with our tank, which is kind of concerning. It's taking so much damage too. It's rough. You guys are like shooting from afar, but it's not enough to deter what this is. See how strong that is versus your tank?
Barrier unsuccessful.
It's really tough. And now nobody's here for that. So like your tracer's gonna be eyeballing this up here, and your Soj is gonna be needing to help with that, but like this is a really strong thing, so I would almost want to see like a swap to a bulkier DPS that is normally gonna stick with a core or stick with your tank or something, because this is just gonna be really rough for him. Like, how much are you really gonna do and get away with here? Unless you completely swap it up and dive, that might be what you're looking at more so. Tracer's gonna try and get out because it's no longer safe to be in there. They're doing a good job of making sure they're out. Bottleneck for like, I don't know what to do. We need someone to help us go up, and our tank just cannot do it himself. Too, I guess, easy to follow. Okay, our tanks decided to go in with our Soj and dies. But I like it better than just sitting there. That is true. I like it better than us sitting there. Okay, they use 3. We should be ult tracking. We're gonna swap the monkey. Hopefully that helps us out. Reaper's gonna be tough, but at least you can decide to go anywhere. But okay, that was a good slide. Now we should be going in. They don't got anything. We'll ring in oddly. Reacting to everything we do here. Because what we're doing is just not proactive enough. It's not catching them off guard. They know that we're going to be desperate to try and move this cart. So they just react to what we do. We are doing some killing on the back line, which is good. Still low. Sombra up there. He's trying to do a
Looking satellite vector.
fight. I think this is a good meal. This is good to be.
ชี
They
วิต
weren't
ปกป้อง
expecting
ชี
it,
วิ
now
ต
they're gonna try and panic. Okay. They're kind of scared playing around tree. Helping with that Reaper now. He kind of got
10
left.
seconds
Good.
remaining.
Okay, we gotta be careful. We gotta get our tempo here. Nobody's on fire. Fight though. Finish fight. In this case, our diver would probably need to be Sombra, so yeah, our Soj needs to be back on card. And our monkey did not know that we were all splitting. That was a mistake. There's a lot of space they're gonna be able to take from us, and I'm not afraid to take it because our tank's gone. This is rough. This is all unnecessary dying that we did not need to do. Just because our tank went in. Yeah, they just have great position for this point of the map. It's easy. This is why we don't make mistakes on this loop, because now it's going to be very hard for us to make. It's a very easy place to exploit because of, you know, the ability just to walk up to spawn and Reaper ult and kill everybody.
Greetings.
60 seconds remaining.
Smoke them out of there.
Blocking satellite vector!
Bob, do something.
La oscuridad te espera!
This ends now.
Universum sind for mine!
They really said we lose
30
everything
seconds
then.
remaining. Ten seconds remaining.
ชีวิตปกป้องชีวิต
狐の鍵爪を解き放て
Overtime.
Lost so many so quickly. That's rough.
Team kill.
Alright, let's go look at, because I think it's a very similar things as we talked about Sarabasso. I think it's just that initiation piece. We lost Runasapi. Let's look at this victory. Look at the victory then. Let's see what is the difference between the victory
Ready for
here.
battle.
Now I know it's obviously going to be a little different with quick play. I'm aware of that. But I want to see like if there's a fundamental difference between how we're playing here. See if it was a blue. See if I'm still seeing those mistakes. We just happen to get
got
an
a few
enemy that
tricks.
sucks. You know what's the catch here?
Where's
What's
the fun
going on?
and pain
Is
fair?
the enemy just making more mistakes so it's easy for you guys not to die first? Is that why you guys have been lucky so far?
3,
Don't know. We'll have to
1.
see.
Attackers incoming.
Dodge this.
Stop the pain.
That was bad positioning. You guys did a good job
Systems hot.
killing her for that.
Dynamite!
The honest positioning. Oh my lord. Went for high ground first. That's fine. And now we have a very easily separated team down here. What I see there, the enemy team's playing pretty bad, but we are up. We're in their face. This is what I like to see, and we're doing it together. Nice change.
Breaking them down.
I like the space that our see like why is our Soj with the team now, but when we were in the comp matches, our Soj was not helping the tank dive. Like look at these beautiful off angles. Our DPS need to be careful not taking the same one, but like I like this so much better than how we were playing in the comp games where we never pushed up at all.
Receive my aid.
I'd rather see that than really, really passive playing. It's okay, your team can pull that, you didn't know that.
Cure for all the tales.
Okay. I feel like I'd much rather see that than never, ever trying to go in with your tank at all. That pretty much is just avoiding going in with your tank during comp.
I was flatly nourished. Gotta go.
You need to go hide in these rooms and stuff. Don't be out in the open. Sombra.
Blocking satellite vector!
Gale, the Mahal.
Like this.
Diving in!
Dodge this.
Like, worrying about the tank for a second.
So fast.
Think that we don't all have the same idea. Mercy pocketed Orisa? Yeah, please go for somebody else besides them. Go for that soldier. You also could choose to kind of push, you also could all push top. And go this way. It's a really cool way to not, if you have a soldier lasering you, go this way. Sombra, I'd go around. Not necessarily like that, but I would go through here.
A cure for all the tales.
You need to be in with your Sombra Diva.
La oscuridad te espera!
Here's your choice. You gotta be in together.
Breaking them down. Gotta go. You're mine now.
High ground, that's good. Somebody needs to push card. I have a DPS back there doing that. Sometimes it can be a support. Probably 50, you know now.
Not so fast.
Got you in my sights.
High ground,
Diving in!
DM him. DM him. Ooh, you knew that soldier was coming in. I don't know why you didn't help out your team there.
Dodge this.
Alright, let's see what we do here. I would like to see you guys eventually push top right. I feel like that's a really strong place. I'm worried about. Sombra's doing great harassing stuff in the back. The timing's off.
爪の鍵爪を解き放て
Figure out how we're gonna Okay, Kiri, you keep finding yourself like being targeted a lot. Can you watch like what Juno does? And I know you don't have fly abilities, but you need to watch what your Juno does so that they can get more heals off. This is a great inside map for this. If you find yourself damage than you, you're being so Juno's up here. Why are you in the fray? Why are you where damage is most concentrated? Back up a bit. Go somewhere else. Take another angle. Get up on high ground. Something. Just kind of sit there and take it and try to 1v1 people. Well, 1v5 people. Like it. Go for nothing. Watch this position, so just keep rotating on it. Okay. You're gonna go right where they can see. Go up here. Soj. Then come down. And start thinking if you want to get this. So you can go around here and get this. So perfect.
Gale the Mahal.
Okay, we're all backing up in line of sight, so start thinking about how we can cut corners instead of backing up straight where they can see us. Okay, ult's over. What are we gonna do? Oh, rings out. Let's go. Beautiful. Gone. Killer.
Nothing can pass me.
Beautiful. You can stack card a little, send people up. Keep long card, stack people up, just hold both sides of the spawn doors. Use your ult.
This ends now. This ends now.
None of our team should die here. No, none of our team should have died. Absolutely no way. With the ults we had, should anybody on our team be died there. Keep one person on cart. You stack on both sides of the door. Nobody on our team should die. I don't care what ults come out. Nobody should die. Pushing cart. People up. There's Soja. Push Samba up.
This ends now. This ends now.
Okay. Your tank's most likely gonna be worried in this area. They're gonna be central in this area. How many people, think about this as like overtime. How many people do have to be on cart? Yeah. Kiri, you're too close. You're way too close. And also, let's look at where you were when you died. You were jumping up to accept your fate. That's what you were doing when you died. Like, I don't understand that. Why? You can still see. You can still see. Over here. Where it's safe. Right here. You heard the Soj ulting. Even if you didn't, why would you peek it anyway? You can heal everybody right here. Use this as cover. This is a little bit more open. All of this is open to you now. And you even leave. You were even going to leave. Let's look where your Juno is.
We're on our way. Cybernetics.
See how back we are from the fight?
We must accelerate.
It's go time. This ends now.
Activating self-destruct sequence.
you know? I don't know. Things like that. Yeah, let me show you, let me do an example here. Let me do an example to try and show what I'm trying to say about this pushing and being proactive. There's a few times that that my team sometimes goes too fast for our own good, but I'm gonna try and find good moments where we had good momentum here. There's a couple, I don't want to show you bad examples necessarily, but there's a couple good examples here that I could show. Oh, yep, thank you. Okay, so let's do, I think we played Surabasa well, and I also think we saw a Surabasa game, so I'd like to do that one. Let's try and see, I hope we have a Juno here.
Initial
We do.
flashpoint.
Okay, perfect.
Mark it.
So since we had a Surabasa game, it'll be good for us to watch.
Not so
A little bit of a
fast.
scuff scream on our part, but
Flashpoint unlocks in 10 seconds.
okay. So let's back up a little because these games are going to be a lot faster paced, and so maybe you can take something from that and kind of see what's going on. So we're coming in. Okay, fight hasn't even started. Let's look
Not
at
so
what happens.
fast.
Our tank kind of looks what we want to do.
Flashpoint unlocks in 10
Here
seconds.
we go. Combine together. See where we are.
Flashpoint
We
unlocked.
lose people. Okay, back up.
Whoopsie daisy!
We lose the fight. Group up.
Disrupting.
See what this next initiation looks like.
Get out!
At this point, we've been tracking ults. We're gonna be about halfway to their ults, which we can see is true.
Clear out.
Okay. This is the scouting phase. We need to decide what we want to do.
Get out! Fight! Be purified!
Hit us first. We die. This is an issue. We'll back out. Just gonna keep waiting to see how do people overcome this. We're gonna give this point. We're gonna try and touch this point. So at this point, people are gonna have ults on both sides.
Огонь по готовности.
Found out we can touch. So we wait.
Fight!
Mark it.
Get out!
Next, flashpoint Palace.
Little split. And we can get back together. Okay. Thanks looking. You wanna go?
Fight!
Find the
Flashpoint unlocks in 10 seconds.
وريهم وريهم.
They ult us, but we kill them first.
And Ginger protects you.
We're able to do it, so it's okay if you trade people. You just have to make sure you're coming on top. I think the issue is we lose so many people on your guys' team like before major things start. So like you gotta lose your life for something important. The Juno lost their life for Blade, but we were able to still win. We gotta think about
This ends now.
it. Okay? Proactive. Being proactive here. They were not expecting that. Let's go back. Let's look at how much they were just not expecting that. Let's look. Look and see how much this team was expecting something like this to happen.
This ends now.
Anna's out in the open. They're all like, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. We got in front.
Recharging.
And especially on these kind of maps, look how much percent we're at now. Just because we're doing what we need to do.
Locking satellite vector!
Time for the reckoning.
Palace. Next,
Sure,
flashpoint.
tank stage
Temple.
line of sight of me. It's a kind of narrow line of sight, but crazy. See what this next fight looks like.
Hey. Get eye!
Okay, they're still trying to
Flashpoint
set up.
unlocks in 10 seconds.
A little bit of recon. We're kind of a little bit of a pokier comp, so we're trying to see if we can make mistakes.
Flashpoint
Decide to
unlocked.
push.
Special delivery! Kitsune no kagizume o tokihanate!
I think our Kiri was upset about that ult. Like, oh, I guess we didn't need that ult, but you know, the fight could always end up differently. It would have been different maybe if it was down this way, because someone could have pushed them back and spawned with it a little more. But we also have ults. It's okay. We have ults that we can use.
洞主不许走！
Caught a little off guard by their push. Some ults because of it. It's okay. Trying to do some damage to keep them from spawn holding us here. Yeah.
This ends now. Огонь по готовности. EMP Simon!
Okay, let's dive for that. It's okay.
Team kill.
But it was a good try nonetheless. I like the aggressiveness on the solo. That's what we do here. They're trying to kind of hold us close. Bring to
狐の鍵爪を解き放て Protecting.
Don't lose that point.
Temple. Next team kill.
They swap Bastion. Don't think we are expecting the Bastion coming out of there. That's okay. We're gonna go to a new point.
Hey. Get eye!
Flashpoint unlocks in 10 seconds.
Super early.
Flashpoint
Locking satellite vector!
Time for the reckoning.
Up. Fair point. DPS did. Let's look at this ring that happened. So we're kind of in between fights here. We're just kind of trying to see what we get. We tried a wall. That was kind of our potential pick here. Knife Bastion. We go in because we know we got that pick. Backline got killed by Tracer, but ooh, excuse me.
Огонь по готовности!
That's hot out here. Okay. Let's grab out.
Физкульт, привет! Time for the reckoning!
Ruins. Next, Flashpoint Garden.
What?
Flashpoint unlocks in 10 seconds.
What?
Flashpoint unlocked.
What?
Okay, let's see what we do here. I think this was one of our most well played points. Taking a safe Curie off angle, which is good. Bed ring. Taking a split fight here, it's not bad.
Seize the soul, as they say.
Sensei Kiki!
Some ults. Use an ult for that. We weren't ready for them to kind of split us down. This lane. I ulted down this one instead. Let's see what we do to come back.
Locking satellite vector!
Time for the reckoning!
I just want to show some movement here really quickly.
Welcome to orbit! How to overcome a challenger. Locking satellite!
That concludes VODs. Alright, that concludes VODs. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully don't do the bad things again. Okay, bye-bye.